At one point or another, every Michaelson joins the dark side. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Vampire Diaries villains.
Where have you been all day?
I've been around.
I'm not interested in vagaries, Stefan.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at the Vampire Diaries' most fascinating, intimidating, or straight-up terrifying villains. The spin-off series The Originals may be referenced. However, only a character's actions on the Vampire Diaries will be considered.
I came back for you.
Well, the problem, Katherine, is that I hate you.
Number 10. Klaus Mikaelson.
Greetings from the dead. So, who fancies a drink?
Introduced as a villain before transitioning into an anti-hero, Klaus Mikaelson's ruthless and violent nature means the original vampire is invariably an unpredictable force of nature. Stemming from a lifetime of feeling snubbed by Klaus, Rebecca, and Elijah, Klaus's actions are primarily a cry for attention.
This is what I've missed. Two people connecting.
While usually following someone else's orders, Klaus takes a personal interest in halting Silas's resurrection in Season 4, even if the end justifies the means. The vampire's unrelenting desire to kill Jeremy did little to endear Elena and company to him.
Now what's the saying? Kill me once, shame on you. Kill me twice, shame on you.
Number 9. Markos.
Once this is over and the town is ours,
I know. It's gone.
Following a roller coaster of a season featuring immortal beings, mad scientists, and more doppelgangers than anyone knew what to do with, ultimately everything proved to be setting the stage for the arrival of the big bad Markos.
we're almost ready to begin our work. Except, we're gonna need a lot more blood.
As a leader of the Travelers, Markos sought to eliminate all but the group's magic from the world.
Travelers are everywhere. They're the faces that surround you every day, the world over, the ones you don't notice, because you're too busy making a mess of all that you have.
More often than not, the show's villains love to spout one-liners, but Markos is far more stoic in nature and goal-driven. This villain is solely concerned with getting the job done.
My people will be free to go wherever they choose, and when witch magic and all that it has ever created is gone from this earth, you will be too.
Number 8. Elijah Michaelson.
Hey, I'm Elijah.
Like Rebecca, here is a Michaelson sibling whose time as a pure villain is short-lived. Nevertheless, Elijah is more than willing to mercilessly kill anyone stupid enough to betray or threaten him.
I beg your forgiveness. So granted.
Fond of humans and quite optimistic, Elijah is about as nice of a guy as a Michaelson gene pool is likely to produce. But a 1,000-year-old grudge against Klaus caused this antagonist to fly off the handle.
To whom it may concern, you're making a great mistake if you think that you can beat me. You can't.
Even if Elijah being a villain was just a phase, the original vampire delivered more thrills to be worth mentioning.
Do we understand each other?
Number 7. Katherine, aka Tessa.
I have trust issues. I'm controlling and paranoid and a little crazy.
Heavily linked to the Vampire Diaries mythology, Tessa only physically appears in a few Season 5 episodes, but the powerful witch's notoriety is built up throughout the majority of the previous season. The third wheel to Silas and Amara's romance, Katherine jealously prompts the antagonist to create an entirely new dimension for the sole purpose of keeping the couple from finding peace.
So call me a woman scorned, or a vindictive bitch, or whatever label suits your story. But I thought I was his one true love.
Basically, Tessa is a stalker with magical powers. Katherine is vindictive, destructive, and refuses to take no for an answer. Terrible traits for a friend, but perfect in a villain.
You're right. We're done. It worked.
Number 6. Wesley Wes Maxfield.
As a man of science, I always considered magic a cheat. Turns out,
I cheat.
A mere human could never hope to measure up against vampires, werewolves, witches, immortals, or demons. But still, this college professor gave the supernatural a solid run for its money. Brilliant, but also slightly insane, Dr. Wesley Maxfield loves nothing more than to conduct painful experiments on vampires.
Subject is confused, yet self-aware. Personality seems intact. Hunger remains primary focus. All in all, appears to be a perfect candidate.
Along with providing personal entertainment, Wes's trials seek to find a way to turn vampires against each other, with the professor citing humanity's safety as a justification. In truth, Wes is a mad scientist who sees everyone, be it humans or vampires, as test subjects.
Atomized purveying. When working with vampires, you can never be too careful. I'm sure Augustine will be thrilled to have you back.
Number 5. Michael.
I guess you're right. He's a dead end. And so are you, Damon. Wait.
Playing a more prominent role in the originals than on its parent show, the Michaelson family patriarch still left quite an impact. Known as a vampire who hunts vampires, particularly ones named Klaus, Michael's interest primarily lies with the villain's own children, but that did not stop the deadly hunter from causing trouble for Mystic Falls residents.
Get Klaus back to Mystic Falls, and I will gladly drive a stake through his heart. Fail, I'll drive it through yours.
Despite being overshadowed by some of Season 3's other antagonists, Michael is even more sadistic than anyone else in the Michaelson family line, and that is no easy feat.
Your impulse, Niklaus. It has and will forever be the one thing that keeps you from truly being great.
Number 4. Silas. As the first immortal responsible for the universe's original love triangle, ultimately setting Elena down the road to meeting Damon and Stefan, Silas arguably left the biggest impact on the Vampire Diaries story.
Hello, my shadow self.
Even while desiccated, Silas maintains enough power to manipulate people from the shadows, and freedom only serves to worsen the immortal's behavior.
Do you have any idea what it's like to starve for 2,000 years?
After living for so many years, Silas yearns to taste death, going to exceptional lengths to achieve this goal. Like the majority of the show's villains, Silas has a wicked sense of humor, but the immortal being's threats are not just grandstanding.
Now, what do you want with Katherine?
I could tell you, but wouldn't it be so much more fun if it were a surprise?
Number 3. Kai Parker.
Forgetting someone?
More than a memorable villain, the Vampire Diaries loves a redeemable one.
Grab that and the next arrow goes in her heart. Your choice.
After seasons of Michaelson's siblings towing the line between psychotic and misunderstood, Kai Parker showed up to serve as a reminder that being evil can be a ton of fun.
I thought about taking the keys, but it'd be like taking the cheese out of a mousetrap, right, buddy?
Trapped in a prison world as punishment for participating in a touch of slaughter, Kai spends most of Season 6 torturing Bonnie, while showing not even the slightest hint of guilt.
I was gonna wait till the death do us part bit, but it seemed a little on the nose. Am I right?
A villain who just loves being a villain may not be the most novel idea, but Kai was a breath of fresh air and a standout character during the Vampire Diaries' later seasons.
Miss me? No? Oh well.
Number 2. Katherine Pierce, aka Katerina Petrova.
Hello, John. Goodbye, John.
Sharing the same face with the Vampire Diaries protagonist, Elena's doppelganger steals the show whenever the witch rolls into Mystic Falls. Willing to do anything to survive, Katherine's backstory is genuinely tragic. However, the past is never used to justify the villain's present-day actions.
You hate me, huh? That sounds like the beginning of a love story, Stefan, not the end of one.
Always messing with the core trio, particularly Damon and Stefan, Katherine is an absolute blast as a cruel vampire with an insatiable lust for life. Popping up as a villain at various points throughout the series' entire run, Katherine presents a pretty convincing case for being the Vampire Diaries' main antagonist.
Kicking someone while they're down. Classy till the end, Katherine. Your end.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Oh, did I forget to mention there are two of us? Me in here, and her out there.
What do you know about Silas? He's the world's worst immortal being who just happens to be imprisoned with the cure. And I want to free him.
Think of this as a waiting room. Lucky for you, I'm sending you back. But not before we discuss our partnership.
Stop for the next one's inner temple. I don't care about you or him or her. Give me my sword and I'll be on my way.
Confuso fatina ignus et ignus mortifina.
Number 1. Klaus Mikaelson.
Oh well. It seems you people respond best to displays of violence.
Bad enough to birth a spin-off series, the original vampires are arguably the best thing to come out of the Vampire Diaries, and none compare to Klaus. As the first vampire and werewolf hybrid, Klaus borders on the indestructible, and simply uttering the villain's name is enough to frighten powerful people.
There's a beautiful symmetry to that, don't you think?
Along with coming across as a genuine threat to Mystic Falls' heroes, Klaus simply oozes charisma out of every pore. Here is a villain who is funnier, more likable, and even more relatable than most of the good guys.
I'm sorry, mate. Are you going to answer, or should I just assume you're back to being... How did you phrase it? Ah, yes. My little bitch.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.